All right, hey friends, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite parts of land investing is the monthly terms or selling things on terms, owner financing, a lot of different terms for it. What I want to do here is I want to share with you just a couple key things to keep in mind, okay? How do you do kind of a back of the hand calculation to know if the price that you're offering or the price someone's offering you for owner financing is adequate? Does it meet your investment criteria? I'm going to kind of talk through those numbers one, and then as a continuation of that, we'll talk about how to price your properties. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump in here. I'm going to share my screen. If you haven't seen this calculator, I share this in the tools of the trade section. I just have it up here to show you that we'll get the same numbers in Excel versus the calculator. But hey, I just want to walk through this with you here. Okay. So we're going to use this same example of a buy of 3,500 and a sell of 10,000. Okay. If we sold this for cash, this would be super simple. It would just be that divided by that. We'd make about 280%, right? Obviously, great yield, great return, great cash on cash. But when you come down and you're actually looking at the numbers on your terms, so if you were to sell this and take money over time for it, you want to know how to calculate your yield, right? Obviously, anybody who has the chance to invest at 1 or 2 or 300% ROI is going to do it because you don't find those numbers very often. But that changes when we start selling on terms. Okay. So let's take a dive in here. And as I share this with you, just here's the kind of number one tip. Okay. You want your money back in a year. Okay. You want your money back in a year. If you get your money back in a year, you're going to be just about at 70% yield. So let me show you here. We're using this formula called rate. It takes in the number of months, it takes in the payment, and then it takes in the present value. So the present value is going to be the cost of the property plus the down payment. Okay. Because that's the present value. You paid 3,500 and then you got down payment there. So you paid 3,500, you take out 500, 1,000, 2,000. That's the present value of the number. That's the present value of your investment in the asset, which is the piece of land. Okay. And then we just multiply it by 12 so we can get this in a yearly format because this is giving us monthly returns. Okay. So let's look at this. If I was to take this out, I'm going to make this 0. Okay. I'm going to make this 0 and I'm going to make this 3,500 divided by 12. Okay. That's 291. So if you'll see, if I put that in there, okay, our present value is 3,500. Number of months on that is 291. Our IRR is just slightly over 100, just slightly over 90%. And if we go down to 12 or 24 rather, we'll see that it's closer to 70%. What you'll see is as you increase the months, your yield doesn't necessarily go up exponentially with it, right? So 48, 60, you can see it's kind of going to cap there, right? It's going to cap eventually. And that's just because really what this formula is looking at is what's the year return, right? Present value of your money. What's the return you're going to make on that asset? Right. So if you see, I go down here, if I went to like 24 months, this is going to be really close to 70%. Right. And that's kind of what we're searching for here. So if you get your money back in a year, it's going to be 70 to 80 to 90%, depending on the number of months that you're doing it for. Okay. But let me show you something. Okay. Maybe for this property, the market rate, you go and you research and you see, hey, the average person is selling this for 199 on terms. Okay. 199. I'm going to do this for 48 months. 48, maybe again, you do the research. You see people are selling these for about $200 a month over 4 to 5 years. So you got to be competitive with that, right? So you need to come in here and reverse engineer what is going to get you to this IRR that you want, right? Now watch how quickly this changes. Okay. So here I have 0 down payment. We always get a down payment. So let me add in 1,000. Okay. We get $1,000 down. Look how quickly that jumps from 60 to 90%, right? What I'm trying to show here is that your down payment and your monthly payments, the quicker you get your money back, the higher your yield will be. Okay. As a rule of thumb, we always want to get our money back in a year, or we want to have a yield of 70+%. One of those two, hopefully both, but one of those two for sure. Okay. So let's do this again. And let's say that the market rate was 149. Okay. And let's see, is 149 times 12 plus 1,000, 2788. You see, I didn't get my money back in a year, right? That's 149 times 12. So 1 year plus this down payment. I only got 27. So I did not even hit my 60% here. I didn't hit my 70%, right? So this property would probably take a little more than a year to get your money back. So what I would either suggest is that you up this payment. You can see how quickly just adding what were we at? We were at 149. Let's just add it to 164. Now you hit it, right? There's little levers you can pull, but over time are really going to make up a lot of money. Okay. And this is the goal. You want to make sure you're getting to 70%. Now, maybe you can get higher, right? If you could get 2,000 down and you could get 249 a month, now look at that. You're getting 200% return on that, right? I'm just actually curious. Let's see what this is. 2,000 plus we got 249 times 48. You get about 14,000 back, right? Instead of the 10,000 you initially were going to sell it for. And so you can see here our yield, well, it's about 100% lower for selling cash, still getting a 200% yield on your money. I don't know where you're going to find 200% yield. And that's where I really like to bang this thought process home of selling land on terms, whether you like it or not, is really the equivalent of a super high yield savings account, right? If Bank of America called you and said, hey, put your money in our savings account, we'll give you 100% yearly return, you'd be like, okay, done deal, right? I'll put my money in there. But what do they give you? They give you 0.5%, 1/4%, whatever it is. I like to think of terms the same way. So if I'm investing $3,500 in this deal and I'm only going to get 1,000 back, I consider that I'm putting $2,500 into my savings account, to my super high yield savings account, because that's what it is. You have less money right now than you started with. Now you have to understand over time, this builds, right? So again, if somebody came and said, I'll give you $1,000 down and 249, and I'd look at that, I'd say, okay, I'm making 118% on that $2,500. Again, let me make that clear. I'm making 118% on the present value of this money. So let me show you this over here in this calculator, just so we can all kind of be on the same page. Let's go present value. So your present value is going to be how much you paid for it. Okay. So we're going to be how much you paid for it plus whatever your down payment is. So here we got 1,000. Okay. So my present value is negative 2,500. That's how much I'm currently out of pocket for that property when I sell it. Okay. I'm going to set that as my present value. I'm going to use 249 for my payments. Okay. And then I'm going to use 48 for that. And you'll see this cranks out the same number. All right. The point of showing you this is when you change these numbers, it drastically changes your yield. Right. And so when you're pricing, I like to price things around 100% yield, 120%, just depending on the market. Right. Because if I come in and do this, this is competitive. Give me 1,000 now and 250 a month. It's a lot better than give me 10,000 now. Right. And I look at it, I want to be above 100%. Ideally, I want to be closer to 200%. Right. If I got 2,000 down, I'd be at 200%. But you got to learn your market and know what makes sense there. So when you're pricing, I target between 1 and 200%. Obviously, higher the better. But I generally find you're gonna want to start in that range. And the reason you want to start in that range is because oftentimes people will say, well, what if I gave you not 2,000, but I gave you 1,250 down? And I don't know about 249. What if I gave you 199 a month? You come back, you look at it, you say, well, 104, yeah, that's pretty good. I could do that if I did it for 54 months or whatever it is, right? Now that's going to give you a little bargaining chip. You can get some more months out of them and you're going to get your return where you need it. So that's the goal here. Big takeaway, if you take anything away, is you'll want to get your money back in a year. Getting your money back in a year, give or take, is going to be 70+% yield. And for me, if I'm not making 60 or 70% on my money, then I probably don't think that's the best investment, just given our asset class and what we do. Some people may say, holy crap, 60%, I would love that, right? And that makes a lot of sense for people who have a lot of cash that want to invest it. But setting your pricing correctly is going to address the other 95% of us who aren't multimillionaires and need a way to offer terms in a way that's not going to break the bank. So that's my suggestion to you. Make sure you get your money back in a year. That's generally going to give you the right IRR. But when you're calculating it or using the tools, you make sure you're above 70% minimum, and 100 to 200% is obviously ideal range where we find it most of the time. Okay. Hope this video helps. Again, think about the power of this. Okay. You're the bank. You own the land. People are coming to buy this from you, right? One more little thing here. I didn't have this ready, but let's just get an idea of what can you do, right? I'm just going to say number of loans. I'm going to say document. I'm going to say loan fee, because we always charge a loan fee. Let's see how much total note portfolio per month. Okay. Just think about this real simply. Okay. If you were able to do, let's say 12 deals a year. Okay. Actually, let's bump it up. Let's say 25 deals a year. Okay. So we're going to have 25 deals. I'm just going to say they all mimic this. Okay. You issue 25 new loans a year. Your loan fee is like Clint, it's $20 a month. Okay. So what's your total note portfolio going to be per month? All right. Let's go take our monthly payments. Let's take these monthly payments and let's add in our note fee. Okay. We're going to do that times 25. If you did 25 simple deals, 2 deals a month for the next year, at the end of that, you would have $5,500 in cash flowing real estate that you owe almost no debt against. You'll probably owe no traditional debt. You might have some of your cash still invested, but over the course of a year, half of these will pay off. And you're going to have $5,400 a month that's going to be on autopilot for 4, 5, 6 years. Okay. What if you up this and you go to Clint territory where he likes doing deals where you're getting $450 a month, right? And you did 25 of those over the course of the year. Look at how much that is. You're making $11,000 a month. That's why I see and I talk about, man, $10,000 a month can really change your life. And it's really not as hard to get to as you think. So anyhow, hope this video serves you. Hope it helps you understand the terms model, the pricing structures, back of hand type math. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.